It sure did get quiet in here, didn't it?
Looking for the noisy ones to come.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's my kind of crowd. I like to save all the talking for when the music happens. Thank you for coming. It's great to be here in Gibson, here in New Zealand. I've been here for 36 hours. Yeah, I know it's Gisborne. I'd like to do that. That's my favorite. Isn't that fun? I've been in the country for 36 hours. I played in Auckland last night and woke up there this morning. And as a true rookie to your country, had looked at the map and thought, 400 kilometers is nothing to a Canadian. I can make that drive no problem. In fact, I'm going to do it on the day. I don't even mind. I left Auckland this morning at 7 a.m., stopped to get a coffee, and pulled here at 6:50 p.m. And I still love it. That's how beautiful this country is. It is incredible. And you know what? They always say it's not the destination, it's the journey. But whoever said that has never been to the Smash Palace, because holy shit, this place is amazing. My name is Ryland Moranz. I'm from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. It is so great to be here with you. Thank you very much for coming. I'm going to start the show off with a magic trick, because every good banjo player has to know it. To tell a family secret, I haven't been playing banjo in a hat for very long. The hat was a gift from my wife. She's very sweet and has good taste. It's a good hat. But I found myself in the same predicament that I was in when I was trying to learn how to kiss as a teenager. It's akin to the dilemma, what do you do with your noses? Because there's a structural and fundamental issue that happens when two faces come together, and that's kind of what I've come to here, where the banjo strap doesn't fit over the hat, and it looks really, really awkward to try to work out. And then I was in Nashville, Tennessee last year, and for all of you following along with your folk singer bingo cards, that's 3 squares worth. And I saw a guy do this, and I had to make him do it for me again off stage because I didn't see it from too close. I was a ways off, and it was amazing. So I'd like to do it for you now. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it's all downhill from here. So I've never been to New Zealand before 36 hours ago. And two, I want to get 2 things off my chest before I play any music. The first one is that my wife works at a school back home, and the administrator, Sue, is from Gisborne. And isn't that incredible that you can travel as far around the world as possible without starting to come back and go to somebody's hometown? So it's a small world, and it's not that big. And I'm going to save the other one for later. with twine. The only song that I could sing was trouble on my mind, boys, trouble on my mind. Trouble on my mind, boys, trouble on my mind. I went down to Gisborne to fetch me a bottle of wine. They hitched me to that whipping post and gave me 99, boys, gave me 99. Gave me 99, boys, gave me 99. Well, I went back to Gisborne to fetch me a bottle of gin. They hitched me to that whipping post. I called their place Gibson, called it, give me again. Gave me hell again, boys, gave me hell again. It's trouble, trouble, trouble on my mind. If trouble don't kill me, live a long time, boy, live a long time. Live a long time, boy, live a long time. It's raining, it's hailing, it's snowing from the sky. If I don't get my true love, I reckon I will die, boy, reckon I will die. Reckon I will die, boy, reckon I will die. Reckon I will die, boy, reckon I will die. Thank you very much. So I'm the second of my family to come to New Zealand. My sister came here 15 years ago, and her name is Ryland Moranz. She's a great songwriter from East Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada. And she came up here, she took a bus, and the day that she left Canada, it was minus 43 before the wind chill. With the wind chill, it was minus 50. And she got on the plane and came over, and the first thing she did was go to a pub in Auckland. And she got off the plane, went to the pub, started talking to some locals. They're still friends to this day, which is pretty cool. But to this day, they still don't believe her because they said, "You're from Canada, it gets pretty cold." And she said, "Yes." When I left, it was minus 50. And they said, "Oh, unbelievable. That's the coldest I've ever heard. Minus 15. Oh. She said, "No, 50, and see, that's what it looks like when you don't do it right. They still don't believe her. But it's true. The thing they don't tell you, though, is Alberta, it's got a really dry cold. I'd rather have minus 50 in the dry than plus 2 in the damp, I tell you. This is a song this is a song that I wrote. It's gonna be on my new record that comes out in March. And I look forward to seeing you all then at Smash Palace for the record release tour show in Gisborne here. The show's not over. That sounds like the end of a show, sort of a plug, but this is the happiest song that I've ever written. It's also my existential dread song, so I hope you've been up on your reading of Camus and Milton. And if you know who they are, you know that I have a university degree in something that just qualifies me to pump gas for a living, really. Well, I'm cursed, I'm graced to hear those fading sounds. Always sitting on the bank instead of wading in to drown. And always singing the songs like the world turned upside down. Well, this world is upside down. This world is upside down. And I am out here with the ones who think you give and you never get it back. And when I'm gone, I will be gone. I am gone. Where this universe is cold, but it feels hot to the touch. And are the hopeful, good-hearted, do they ask for too much? Is it ashes to ash, or is ash the same as dust? Well, this world is ash and dust. It's just dust and ash and dust, and I am out here with the ones who have loved but could never learn to trust. And when I'm gone, I will be gone. I am gone. Might be haunted. Where there's want in the world, in the sip and the sup, the love and the fear overflow with the cup. But if everything's nothing, then can't nothing be enough? This nothing is enough, and this everything's enough, and I am out here with the ones who have seen the face of God and called the bluff. And when I'm gone, I will be gone. I am gone. When I'm gone, I will be gone. I am gone. Thank you. Full disclosure, Canadians really tune a lot, and we really like it back home. We really like it when we tune and we watch other people tune. And so if you're noticing that I'm tuning a lot, and you're finding it uncomfortable, just know that it's a cultural difference. But my mom is, for all intents and purposes, Scottish, and She came to a show once, and the Scots don't understand when you tune. They like it to be in tune, but this is getting kind of racist. Maybe I should just pump the brakes. Anytime. Just kidding. I just like to throw that out there. Just know that I'm aware, but I am Scottish, so I can't say these things. My mom doesn't have any. Yeah, all right, good. Yeah, okay, I'll carry on. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. My mom, she was at the show, and after, she's so supportive. I come from a really supportive musical family, and she came up after the show, and she said, "That was great. That's a great show." And I said, "Thanks, Mom." And she said, "You tuned a lot." And I said, "Yeah, I tune because I care." And she said, "Well, nobody should tune that much. I mean, nobody should care that much either, maybe." Well, I'm waking up, just trying to find my head. I've got the keys in my pocket to the double-A deck. I'm waiting for the last of the stars to come tumbling down. Well, easy chair, easy to be wild and free, with your dollar bill parties and good company, scrapping and yelling and shooting each other down. But they closed off the park after Rudy dropped dead, and the newspaper wrote what his mama read. Living in the alley in a brown sedan, woke by the sound of the delivery man, feeling sorry for the people rushing around with all the places to go. Well, it's a beautiful life, it's a beautiful thing to be a beautiful loser in a beautiful scene. Be the big wheel filling in the spaces in the background. But we ain't seen the cat since the dogs got fed. There ain't been no truth since the pigeons got bred. Thank you very much. I've been practicing, so that means a lot to me. I appreciate that. I ruined an entire summer vacation the year I learned how to whistle. My family and I drove 6 hours from Fort Macleod, Alberta, my small hometown, to Athabasca Lake, which is just north of Edmonton. So for all of you Alberta, Canada geography nuts, there you are. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the home of the Oilers, for better or for worse. It's a 6-hour drive, and the whole thing was just... That's right, yeah. If that doesn't split your parents up, nothing will. My parents will be together forever. So before I go into this next verse, I just want to explain it a little bit, because actually I'm quite proud of it. Blaze Foley is one of my favorite songwriters who ever lived. He influenced all sorts of people, from John Prine to Bonnie Raitt. And he was tragically murdered in the month of February 1989 by a man with the last name of January. And I was shocked to discover that. That's a shocking thing. And then I was shocked to discover that with that kind of alliteration, nobody had actually written a song about it before, so... I guess there's a bright side to every gruesome murder. Well, duct tape stuck to the toes of his boots, shot in the middle of a little dispute. Well, January's February, murder was the talk of the town. Well, the ambulance came, and the police arrived, and the whisper was heard, please don't let me die. But the angels worked faster than the doctor that day. And there ain't no sense in knowing what was said, 'cause there ain't new songs since Blaze been dead. If I had wings, I'd let loose this hour. I'd let slip the bones of the earth where it lay, and I would look me down at everything and nothing, the color and candor of all that remains. And I'd be looking out for answers, staring out through the day. I'd be thinking about forgiveness. Is it ever too late? Well, if I were a boxer, I would weaken with age and bask in the glory of the memory of days when life was sweet, and sometimes even sweeter. A naive believer in the working of fate. And I'd be moving like a dancer with a left hooking straight. I'd be looking for some mercy to get me through the day. If you were me, I would hope that you'd be honest. I'd hope you were kinder. I'd hope you were brave. And I would wish you happy to know the world over, and try to be bolder when saying your name. And I'd be thinking about your answers, trying to get you to stay, and to love and to be loved, and let it be that way. Oh, thank you very much. Y'all are too kind. I have to say, and this isn't, I don't usually brag like this on stage, but I feel like this is going considerably well considering my 11 and a half hour drive today. I got out of the car, honest to God, and walked through that door and thought, if I can survive and say my own name today, I'm gonna count that as a win. And it's amazing what these New Zealand beers do to you, though. They just perk you right up. Did we ever talk about how I became a songwriter? We've never done that one? All right. That was last night. That's right. Yeah. That was Auckland. They were nice folks in Auckland. Is there a... I just assumed that all of the New Zealand rivalry would be North-South Island. But it's... Yeah? Oh, it's just Auckland and the rest, right? Yeah. That makes sense. That's right. That's in Canada, we have that too. It's Toronto and everyone else. And I don't think Toronto know. It's just they're like the person at the party that doesn't know that they weren't invited a bit. And I don't mean to shit talk Toronto. It's great. I like it there a lot. I have lots of great Toronto friends. But there is a real thing in Canada where Toronto's like Teddy that you didn't invite. And they show up at the punch table and, hey, you guys listen to my new song. And you're like, great, Teddy. Thanks for coming. See you next time. Anyway, so I became a songwriter. Out of high school, I was convinced I was going to do one of two things. I was either going to play music for a living or I was going to be a pilot. And so I did what any well-planned 18-year-old freshly minted out of high school would do. I joined a punk band, and I went to flight school. And I did both of those things too long. I did get my license, and now it's just the world's most expensive hobby. And I toured a lot in that punk band. It was like 10 years of losing my hearing and drinking the world's worst beer. But while I was in flight school, I got a job as a ramp rat. Any ramp rats in the audience tonight? Any? So if that's a vernacular that hasn't made it over here yet, a ramp rat is an affectionate term for an airside technician. So it's the ground crew that works next time you're flying wherever you're headed, hopefully not on Jetstar. And if it is Jetstar, hopefully you didn't overpack your luggage and owe as much money as I did coming over here. But they're the folks that fuel the planes and move the bags and do the marshalling and that stuff. So I was working as a ramp rat, and Neil Young came to play a show in the city I live in, Lethbridge, Alberta. I couldn't go because I was working, but I got to marshal his plane in. And so he flew in this private jet, a Gulfstream 4. And he landed, and I marshaled the plane in and put it where it was, and really marveled at the private jet. Immediately I realized, folk music is where the money is, probably. And you hooked it up to ground power, and the air stairs came down, and the co-pilot came off, then the pilot, and then there he was, Neil Young. And he was from me to you away, and maybe even closer. And I didn't say anything. Because what do you say to a legend? And he walked off, and he played a great show, I'm told. And the pilot walked by, and the co-pilot came up, and he said, would you mind, it was just Neil on there, would you mind tidying up? I said, sure thing. So I walked on to the Gulfstream 4. I found Neil Young's seat. And first off, the tray table was still down even though they'd landed, which is the most rock and roll thing I've ever seen. You have to be a particular kind of famous to get away with that shit. So I put the tray table up. I grabbed the empty Dasani water bottle. I put the magazine back on the pouch in the seat in front. And I looked down next to his seat, and there was a half-eaten Greek salad wrap just sitting there. And I looked at it for a minute, a good long minute, and I thought, man, you can't just throw that out, can you? So I took the Greek salad wrap, mangled, I wrapped it in its own cellophane. I slid it underneath my yellow fluorescent safety vest. I I deboarded the Gulfstream 4 onto Apron 2. I walked across Apron 2 into Hangar 1, one of the oldest hangars in Alberta, one of the oldest in Canada, part of the original Canadian Skyway. Dipped underneath the wing of the 1962 Piper Aztec twin-engine VIY. Snuck into the chemical room where we test your avgas and jet fuel for sediment. And I ate it. And I write folk songs now. This is a song for my wife and my 2 cats back home. It's called The Hell of This Town. Well, I've got half a mind to waste a lifetime with the blinds all open and neighbors waving and the blue jays ready to hatch. But when the clouds pile up and the church bells ring and the morning's laying down in the grass, you can't clean up or down in the hell of this town. Well, no, you can't clean up or down in the hell of this town. Remember when this whole place was tired of sunshine and there wasn't no rain for 18 weeks and the dust spilled into the cracks? And when the storms all came, we stood outside and man, we felt alive. Alive and well, enjoying the hell of this town. I thought of you at Sonny's bar. I drank to your health like somebody else was paying the tab, until the clock rolled over and the lights came on and the band spilled into the cab. And I was left alone to face the nighttime. When the sun comes up, I'm gonna make you mine and show you off around to the folks in this town. Well, I will show you off around to the folks in this town. Twice in one show. Thank you. Oh, you are the greatest. I can't believe we haven't done this before. You're clapping at all the right spots. And I tell you, Gisborne's really good for my self-esteem. I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna, all I have to do is figure out how to roll my R's properly. And that's the hardest part about, I think, being a Canadian, especially one that only speaks English but has had enough French to damage how he says R's when they need to be rolled, is trying to roll my R's properly for New Zealand and Maori culture, and everything just comes out kind of Gaelic or French. Everything. I was on tour for 3 weeks before I came over here in Australia, and I've just got nothing but shit for my pronunciation, because I'd be, telebudgere, and it's, you mean telebudgera? Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure telebudgere is the correct. Last time I swore was the last time, and the time before that I swore the same. But my key hit the lock and the sun came up, and I didn't make it home again. I remember it was downtown at 3. I remember it got dark around 5. I remember hanging around with some folks from out of town who were friendly without ever even trying. Worst things happen today. There's worse things in the news, now I lost my way. Just 'cause I don't remember doesn't mean that I forgot about you and all that luck that I got. Last I knew it was November, and the last I checked it's July. I haven't got damn time keeping seconds on my mind, but the days still pass by and by. And all I need to say will be when I'm passed away. It's a tragedy, and it's plain to see things that I don't know calling me. Worst things happen today. There's worse things in the news, now I lost my way. Just 'cause I don't remember doesn't mean that I forgot about you and all that luck that I got. Back home, my wife teaches 2nd grade French immersion, which is why I don't know any French. Growing up in central Alberta, or southern rather, when my teacher was from central Alberta, she didn't speak French, so when she taught it, she didn't teach it either. And my sweet wife, who is fluent in several languages and the sweetest human I've ever met, just gives me shit constantly. Every time I try to speak it. She has that in common with my grandmother. It's one of the things that she bonded with. My grandmother is German. She's like if Winnie the Pooh is a sweet little German woman. I called her from Berlin once and said, "Grandma, I'm learning. Listen, Entschuldigen." And she laughed so hard, I was worried that my 90-year-old grandmother was going to die on the phone. She didn't. And I'm going to show her this show. I think it's going out on the internet right now. I'm very proud of my wife. Her first year teaching, she came back home, and I just come off tour. I said, "How was work?" And she said, "Exhausting." "How was tour?" And I said, "Exhausting, but great." And she said, "That's nice." I said, "Yours was exhausting, but was it great?" And she said it was okay. At recess, I didn't realize that when I dismissed them, they would need help putting their shoes on. All of them. 25 kids, 2 feet a kid, that's 50 feet. By the time I got all the shoes on and laced up, recess was over. And I said, recess was over, what did you do? And he said, I didn't do anything, they can't tell time. Well, lots of folks got nothing, and others have too much. I was never a great cipher, but that just don't add up. But you'll never catch me working, won't catch me in the fields. I don't wanna be a doctor, I don't wanna live that many years. Wanna be danger, wanna be danger, wanna be a dangerous man. Where I love me my banks, and I serve myself well. Where I love me my barrels, and the fear that they compel. Where I put hollies in the dirt, and Coldwell is dead. If a lawman's still walking, then I ain't hit him yet. I'm a danger, I'm a danger, I'm a dangerous man. I'm a danger, I'm a danger, I'm a dangerous man. I'd go down in a hail of lead. When they took me, I was sleeping. Now I weigh chains instead. Where there ain't no worse fate than partridge on a farm. No, there ain't no worse fate than partridge on a farm. Swing a hammer, and then you swing a pick. And when the rocks are broke up, well then you swing by the neck. Here lies danger, here lies danger, here lies dangerous man. Well, Here lies danger. Here lies danger. Here lies dangerous man. Thank you very much. So I'm going to do two things now, and then we're going to take a little break, and we're going to play a public service announcement. And then I'm going to play one more song, because you don't want to leave off on safety. You got to be a little dangerous. It's a Friday night. Every musician, folk in particular, comes to a crossroads at one point or another in their career where they find a cause they have to get behind, and it speaks to them in a way that they make the conscious choice that they can no longer stand idly by and let the world continue as it is. You see an injustice and you feel the need to right it. That's a long tradition with Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger and Arlo Guthrie and Joe Strummer and all of the greats, you know. And so I've found mine, and this is the point now where, you know, we're just about to go into a break, and this seems like as good a time as any to talk about it. Well, it's just tricky to get into. You know, you never want to polarize an audience. So anyways, I'm out campaigning for narcissism. If something happens to you when you put your name on a t-shirt, you just get really infatuated with that. And it's a slippery slope, and I put my name on 4 different t-shirts, and all of a sudden I feel like I have a personality disorder coming on. So if you were interested in supporting Narcissism Anonymous and wanted to wear one's shirt around, this is your say anything moment. I am sold out of one of them, so there's a lot of folks up in Auckland that have been very helpful to the cause. But I have t-shirts, and I have vinyl, and I'm very committed to not taking any of it with me when I leave. So if anybody wants some, you can donate straight to the Ryland Moranz Narcissism Fund. There is a funny thing that happens, all jokes aside. I've been in a lot of bands, and I will, like, you put your band on a t-shirt and it's cool. You put your name on a t-shirt and you're an asshole. And I brought 4 of them to this country. And not 4 t-shirts, 4 different styles, different designs. You're gonna love it. I also am starting this craze in Canada, and I've introduced it in Australia, and tonight's its 2nd night in New Zealand. I'm really excited about it. It's something I'm coining arbitrary shittiness. And you just take something that you love and you put it down in public as kind of a fun thing. So I have stickers in the back that say "Folk sucks." And if you think it sucks too, the way I do, I want you to have one. Which brings us to the public service announcement. Don't leave your records in the sun. They warp and they won't be good for anyone. Don't leave your records in the sun. They get all wavy and they just won't run. Well, they just won't play, 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 just won't play no more. Well, I had this record that I really did like. It was the last one they had in the store. I left it sitting on my car back seat, and now it just won't play no more. Well, don't leave your records in the sun. They warp and they won't be good for anyone. Don't leave your records in the sun. They get all wavy and they just won't run. They just won't play, just won't play, just won't play, just won't play, just won't play. My big international hit now. It's international because I wrote it in Bristol on my first tour to England in 2016. It's a hit because my mother-in-law says it's her favorite. And that's not pandery. I know that sounds pandery, and I know especially when somebody pulls a banjo out, pander is not far behind. But her name is Glenna. She's one of my best friends in the whole world. We share a birthday. Day, not year. Well, how high hangs salvation? How far the written letters go? How strange a foreign land can feel when you feel you're growing old. Where the old ways of navigation are the best ways I've been told. And if history's anything to learn from, I'll be lonesome when I go. But I will roam, and I will roam, and I will roam, and I will roam with the old ways of navigation. I will find my way back home. Well, some advice from the old days. When you pack a suitcase and what you love stays, don't be afraid of the heartache that can break a man. 'Cause I'll miss cooking in our little kitchen, and I'll miss walking down our little street, and I'll miss the sweet little sounds she makes when she's just falling asleep. But I will roam, and I will roam, and I will roam, and I will roam with the old ways of navigation. I will find my way back home. Well, I've got a compass, and I've got the stars. I've got the sun coming up in a few hours. Check the moss on the trees, declination is east, so subtractive. And don't forget to ask for help when you need it. Don't forget to help them other people too. This whole universe in motion, rivers leading to the ocean. If you follow, well, so do you. So I will roam, and I will roam, and I will roam, and I will roam with the old ways of navigation. I will find my way back home, and I Thanks very much. Let's take a break and have a beer and meet back in 15. All right. We are doing a break, right? I didn't just have a false, yeah? Okay, cool. Break time. Cool. Hey, gang. Thank you for sticking around, and, well, thanks for living here, first off. I mean, I get it. I want to move. When I drove down from Auckland today, I swear to God, I just about wrote my rental car off like 9 times. And it wasn't for any. I mean, there was lots of traffic, and there was lots of construction, and I can't believe what you've gone through here. The resilience of your community must be through the roof, and I feel lucky to know you in that respect. So thank you for getting through what you got through. That cyclone must have been something. So good for you. Nice work. But the cyclone damage, as devastating as it was just to see, isn't why I almost wrote my rental car off. It's just, it is so astounding, this country. I am a crier. Sad movie, good book, fantastic meal. I will lose it. Dog in a park when I'm feeling kind of lonely. Like, it's unbelievable. But I was hyper emotional for like 6 hours today driving from Auckland to here. The first half of the drive I was hyper emotional. The second half I was kind of seeing through time a little bit. But this is a long way to say I feel very blessed to be here, and I feel very lucky to be here with all of you. Thank you so much. Back to the good old home of loving people that taught me at Mississippi Valley. And even on a Sunday morning, you know that I'll be there. And we all come back for to be with you, good neighbors. Live a good life in the Mississippi Valley and down on the river. You know that's where I want to be. Well, the night comes on like a blanket, chilly wind. People come out in the Mississippi Valley in western Kentucky, Cairo, over in South St. Louis. There's a baseball game at the Legion Post on Tuesdays. Have a good ride on the Julie Bell Swain down to the river, and you know that's where I wanna be. And the fields of corn and the banjo music, catfish fry and a turbo payload pushing upstream against the stars. There's a letter come back from a girl in Calhoun County, here in the middle of the Mississippi Valley. I'm in love, you know that's where I wanna be. Catfish frying a turbo payload pushing upstream against the stars. There's a letter come back from a girl in Calhoun County, here in the middle of the Mississippi Valley. I'm in love, you know that's where I wanna be. Thank you. That was a John Hartford tune. John Hartford is a superhero to me. And I don't have this on good authority. In fact, this is completely hearsay and conjecture. But I'm pretty sure he wrote that song on a day that the space bar on his typewriter broke. Well, I've been hanging out uptown in that low-down rain, watching Good Time Charlie Friends is driving me insane. Well, up on shady Charlotte Street where the green lights look red, I wish I was back home on the farm in my feather bed. And I got myself a rocking chair to see if I could lose this thin dime hard time, the hell on Church Street blues. I found myself a paper friend I read yesterday's news. I folded up page 21 and stuck it in my shoe. I gave me a nickel to the poor, my good term for the day. I folded up my old billfold and threw it far away. And I got myself a rocking chair to see if I could lose these thin dime hard time, the hell on Church Street blues. Wish I had some guitar strings, old black diamond brand. I'd string up this old Martin box and go and join some band. But I guess I'm gonna stay right here and pick and sing a while, and try to make me a little change and give them folks a smile. And I got myself a rocking chair to see if I could lose these thin dime hard time, the hell on Church Street blues. Myself a rocking chair to see if I could lose these thin dime hard time, hell on Church Street blues. So my new record is coming out in March. I think I mentioned that back at the beginning of the show when you thought maybe it was the end of the show, because I did that whole end of show preamble a little early. It's a record where the happiest song is the existential crisis song. And this is probably the next happiest. It's an optimistic song about the world we live in and the people in it, and how we're all just doing our best, and how no matter what happens, we can all count on one universal truth. And whether or not that truth is metaphor or completely based in some kind of hard reality, it's there, and it's there for us. This is the next happiest song on that record. It's called Nobody's Going to Heaven. And you're going to like the sad songs, I promise. Well, can you see the rain come down? Ain't it a sight to be seen? The water's pushing the buildings down like there's nothing left to keep. And we're all still talking the same way that we did in the 70s. Judgment Day is on the wind, and nobody's going to heaven. Last night I heard the marching band with all their souls to sing, with praise unto the end of time and the comfort that it brings. But what comfort could spring anew from the ending of all things? Well, Judgment Day is on the wind, and nobody's going to heaven. This life is full of mystery. It's painted on the soul, but now can't hear the calling out of the boatman on the shore. The one wish never granted, let it be as was before. Well, Judgment Day is on the wind, and nobody's going to heaven. Hour of wonder, as the song is sung, the longest shadows reaching out for the race it has been run, and time will take its own end as it has since time begun. When Judgment Day is on the wind, and nobody's going to heaven. Well, Judgment Day is on the wind, and nobody's going to heaven. Thank you very much. I don't know if you can tell by now or not, but in 2020 I went on some pretty serious antidepressants. And that is a joke, and you can laugh, and I would appreciate it if you would. It is also true, and a friend of mine back home, he's a great songwriter named Carter Felker, and he's like the Blaze Foley that Blaze Foley never had. And he put out a record this year called Even the Happy Ones Are Sad, and I thought, fuck. I knew it, but why did I need to read it from you to understand? I'm a big advocate for therapy. I've had a great therapist for like 15 years. I've spent more money on therapy, or at least enough, to fund a small country space program, and it's worth it. It's so that you can write songs like that and get away with it. Speaking of getting away with it, I think. This is Stormy. This is my banjo, and she's moody, is the thing, and she needs some attention when we get home. She's starting to kind of, well, we're nitpicking each other, really, kind of pushing each other's buttons. But I think she'll make it. There you go. one of my best friends. I do like Stormy a lot, and I've never actually talked about her in the third part, like she's a person before. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I think it makes it weird. That's right. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. It's fine. This is a song I wrote. This is my obligatory folk bluegrass singer train song, because everybody has to have one. I started writing it, and then I realized that I don't know a ton about trains. So this song's called Rocket. Well, I once awoke in the darkest of night. Not even with a lantern could I see. So I lay there wait till the break of day, in the still and the silence, in the peace. And I once rode a train to the ocean, but jumping after trains wasn't for me. Now I ride me a rocket through the big blue sky, and I wave down at the trains underneath. Well, hold me now, I feel it in my heart and in the ground. When this life is over, I wanna feel the way that I feel now. Well, if I find me my fortune, more money than I could ever spend, I will sail it away in a steamer trunk. Yeah, I've never known money to mend. And if I'm approached by a pretty young thing who said that she got eyes for only me, I will say, miss, I'm sorry, but I'm promised you the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Well, hold me now, I feel it in my heart and in the ground. When this life is over, I wanna feel the way that I feel now. There's no heaven, and I don't care if there's no hell. All the rights and the wrongs that have come and have gone will suit to serve that purpose just as well. Well, hold me now, I feel it in my heart and in the ground. And when this life is over, I wanna feel the way that I feel now. Well, hold me now, and I feel it in my heart and in the ground. And when this life is over, I wanna feel the way that I feel now. I wanna feel the way that I feel now. I wanna feel the way that I feel now. First, I used to do this thing in my show. I don't do it anymore. Where when I would bring the banjo out, I used to say, if anyone has a banjo joke, I would appreciate it if you'd yell it now and not in the middle of the show, or like it was kind of a speak now or forever hold your peace sort of a thing. And I started doing it because like clockwork, every time I would pull it out, somebody would yell out some joke. And I think they're great, and I'm all for it. It's just I wanted to control the time, you know. It was me trying to, I don't know, disrupt entropy, kind of. And so I started saying this thing where I'd say, hey, if anyone has a banjo joke, please yell it out now, because now's the time. And does anybody? Yeah. You do have one. All right. Tell yours, and then I'll tell you the one that made me stop doing this.
Well, I haven't been asked for a banjo joke in a really long time, but I think it's something like, what's the difference between harmonica and a banjo?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't? No? No, that's not the joke.
Oh, that's not. I thought that was the most passive-aggressive joke I'd ever heard.
No, okay, hold on. I thought you were going to go, oh yeah, I know that one.
I haven't heard that one.
At least the harmonica is in tune every other note. I know they're never good. I mean,
That's great. That was really good. So the one that made me stop was I was at a festival called Tongue on the Post in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. It's quite a cold festival, which is why I don't know if you've seen A Christmas Story. It's the thing where the kid puts his tongue on the pole and it doesn't come off. And yeah, it's a Canadianism for sure, or at least a North American thing. And I said, like I sort of said tonight, kind of haphazardly, if anyone has a banjo joke, now's your time. And this kid at the back yelled, how many banjo players does it take to screw in a light bulb? And I said, I don't know, how many? And he just yelled, shut up! And I don't do that anymore. This song's for my friend Elliot. Where is my blue-eyed girl? Where on earth is she? When we're apart, I miss her so. I'm sorry we did me. I'm sorry we did me. But I'll never go back to New Orleans. Won't go to San Francisco. I don't stare into that Russian gold. Stare upon the crib door. Stare upon the crib. I've seen that road to glory, boy, I've seen that burning bush. I've seen that towering tree of smoke howling in the woods, yes, howling in the woods. And I've seen those sleeping demons, I've seen the elves of mine. But they've never seen my blue eyes and they'll never understand, they'll never understand. Where is my blue-eyed girl? Where is she burning bright? When next I see my blue eyes, she will never break my side. She'll never break my side. You doing okay? You got a few more in you? All right. I played a show in Brisbane a couple weeks back, and I did the thing. I didn't realize it was a Canadianism, but actually, maybe you're from Toronto. Maybe you. Oh, she's gone. Oh, there she is. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out just as you were leaving. I'll save this. I'll save this. You go, and we'll all wait. Can you? Oh, she did go. That's good. That's a very good thing. There's a thing that I didn't realize doesn't translate necessarily, and maybe it's because there's two things about Canadians you should know. One is that we're really polite, and the second is we don't actually mean it. And so that I asked the audience in Brisbane, can I play 2 more songs? Do you guys have that in you? And it's kind of a passive-aggressive way of saying I'm going to play 2 more songs. Like, obviously, I was going to play 2 more songs. And this guy came up to me after, and he said, are you open to some constructive criticism? And I said, yeah, for sure. And he said, don't ask to play 2 songs. We're already there. And I just, yeah, absolutely. I was like, oh, well, forget about it. So I'm not going to ask if I can play 2 more songs. I'm just going to do it.
Or 5.
I'll play, yeah, or whatever. You know, it's whatever it's a Friday night. And we're at Smash Palace. Daryl, thank you. Daryl's on sound and on keeping the lights on and owning the place. Thank you very much for having us. This is the greatest night of my life. There's a hard thing that happens when you become a songwriter and a musician, and I think the average, you can average 10 years working on it. It has to do with that 10,000 hours thing. You need your 10,000 hours, but as a musician, you have to do double duty, getting good at your craft and convincing everybody that you love that this isn't a hobby or a phase. And once you do it, it's pretty great. But until then, you have a hard time developing hobbies because people think you already have one. Which is, not true. This isn't a phase, Mom. And I will come to Christmas, but I will also be playing Christmas. But all this is to say I've recently developed a hobby, and I'm very excited. It's arguing about Bob Dylan. Because he is the Schrodinger's cat of folk singers. Do you guys, are you familiar with Schrodinger and his cat? It's this, it's a theory where if you have a cat in a box and you don't know if the cat's alive or dead, before you open the lid, the cat is in a super condition of both alive and dead. It's kind of a fun brain teaser. Yeah, it's always dead, but it's never dead. That's you shouldn't just say the first thing you think, Rye. But Bob Dylan is the Schrodinger's folk singer. He's a great guitar player, and his voice is unrecognizable. It's always Bob Dylan when you hear him. And when he plays the harmonica, his placement is fantastic. It's perfect, even. However, he is a terrible guitar player. And he can't sing. And he's the world's worst harmonica player, like, objectively. And so arguing about Bob Dylan has become my new passion, because you can do it any direction. No matter what side you're on, you can win. And you can too. Like, this isn't just for me. I'm not saying you can win in the I can win. Like, you can win. because it is all defendable. Bob Dylan is the voice of a generation. He's the soundtrack to a movement. He is the tectonic foundation by which everything is measured and built upon. We are all here listening to music that we love, no matter what was in your car tonight. Fish, Wu-Tang Clan, all of it. Bob Dylan is somewhere in that mix. There's always a Fish fan. However, his songs are nonsense. He's annoying as shit, and he's incredibly inconsistent. And the person I love to argue with the most is my brother-in-law. He loves Bob Dylan so much, and this was his argument that almost got me once. He said, you can't like music and not like Bob Dylan. And it goes back to that tectonic foundation of everything. He's an important ingredient to everything you like. You can't say you like anything without liking something that liked Bob Dylan. And I said, that's true. However, I love pizza. I love to make it. I love to eat it. I love the smell of it. I love to look at it. I like to look at pictures of it on the internet. I like to look at videos of people looking at pictures and making pizza on the internet. And you can't make pizza without flour. But I don't fucking eat flour by itself. And that's how you win that argument. So when you leave here tonight, I'm not going to play a Bob Dylan song. Sometimes I do, but I didn't bring that instrument, so this whole charade has been for nothing. But I am going to play a harmonica song, so I figured that would be enough. But today I would love if you would leave here, pick someone you love, look them straight in the eye, and argue about Bob Dylan for me. This is a song I wrote. This song I wrote for my wife, and it was my attempt at a love song. And I wanted to write something charming and sweet, and I ended up writing something that's kind of threatening and vaguely damning. But the jury's still out on which it is. I would love to hear what you think. Please keep in mind that the record is out, so I mean I can only take your feedback so far, but I do want to know what you think. Well, lay me down in the fields of snow. Lay me down where the clay meets the coal. For if I don't have you, there's no place I will go. Lay me down in the snow. Well, let me rest in the ocean deep. Drop me in with the salt and leave me to sleep. For if I don't have you, well, my heart just won't beat. Lay me down in the deep. Where the sky, oh the sky, it's my head when I dream. And the horizon, it sits at my feet. I will give you my heart in all of the days, and in all of the snow, and through all of the rain. Yeah, my soul in the night for to keep. Well, let me wander in the mazes of stone, where the dizzying depths bring a chill to your bone. For if I don't have you, I will feel that alone. Let me wander inside the stone. Where the sky, oh the sky, it's my head when I dream. The horizon, it sits at my feet. I will give you my heart for all of the days, and in all of the snow, and through all of the rain, in the darkest of depths and the saddest refrain, in my soul, in the night for the keep. Lay me down in the fields of green. Drop me in with the streets, hand me into the streams. For if I don't have you, forever will I dream. Hand me in to the stream. Where the sky, oh the sky, it's my head when I dream. And the horizon, it sits at my feet. I will give you my heart for all of the days, and in all of the snow, and through all of the rain, in the darkest of depths and the saddest refrain, in the animal sleep, it is all just the same. Yeah, my soul in the night for the keep. A hungry feeling came over me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell, and the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal, till begin the morning. A screw was bawling, get up you bowsy, and clean up yourself. And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. While the lads were sleeping, Humpy Gussie was creeping, and I lay there weeping for my girl Sal. And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Up in the female prison, there are 75 women, and among them, I wish I did dwell. Then the old triangle could go jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal, all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Thank you very much. This is truly humbling. I can't tell you what it means to me, and I told you I'm a crier. I can't tell you what it means to me to travel as far away from home as is possible before you start to come back again and spend time with all of you. My legs started shaking when I said that. I need to just stop talking right now. Thank you. So before I play my last song of the evening, I feel like I should come clean with you with something. I feel like we've built up enough trust that I can say this. I have a secret shame as a Canadian. What's your name, my other Canadian? Valerie. Valerie, you have to promise not to put this on the internet where all the other Canadians will hear. I've started just bringing in New Zealanders into the thing. I'm working up to telling the rest of the Canadians this. I come from a small town in Alberta called Fort Macleod. When I moved away, it had 3,500 people. And now, to my knowledge, it's got 3,499. And of all of the people it has turned out that were born there and moved away or came back again or grew up and died, Joni Mitchell was born there, actually. She didn't live there at all. She just moved to Saskatoon and then became our country's unofficial poet laureate, but she was born there. And I'm sure, even though I don't have any actual proof, I'm sure this doesn't apply to her. I am, to my understanding, the only person, past, present, or future, to come out of that town that doesn't know how to ice skate. I know. And that put a deficit on me as a kid, as a 12-year-old kid. All of my other friends, I mean, if they all play a sport and you can't do it, you are the odd person out. And when you are 12, that is a death sentence, or it feels like it. And so my grandparents stepped in and they wanted to help. My Nana and my Papa. And their sport was golf. So that summer they got me golf lessons. And it was going to be the summer that I was going to be the underdog that becomes the overdog, to have the over-underdog summer. And we had weekly lessons, and they would drive me in 30 minutes to the fanciest golf course. And when I got there, I realized not only was I going to learn how to golf, but I was better dressed than everybody else there. They were all in their golf pants, an athletic shirt, and the same hat, and the shoes with the spikes, and the one glove, which confused me because Thriller had come out 14 years prior, and I was pretty sure that it was out of style by then, but once a Michael Jackson fan, always a Michael Jackson fan. That's something that we know for a fact now more than ever. So they were wearing their golf pants, golf shoes, sports shirt, same hat, Michael Jackson glove. I showed up in forest green sweatpants with an elastic at the top and the bottom of the leg, sky blue socks, plastic river sandals, a fire engine red sweater that had cowboys riding horses in front of a mountain range, and the mountain range and the lariat were in glitter. I looked awesome. But I didn't make any friends at golf. What I did make was a big smoking hole on my Walkman, my cassette Walkman, where I had Paul Simon's Graceland that played every trip, back and forth. It was all I did. And to this day, I still can't golf. But I can wear the shit out of glitter. The Mississippi Delta was shining like a national guitar. And I'm following the highway through the river past the cradle of the Civil War. Now I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. My traveling companion is 9 years old, and he's a child of my first marriage. And I've reason to believe we both will be received in Graceland. She come back to tell me she's gone, as if I didn't know that, as if I didn't know my own bed, as if I'd never noticed the way she brushed her hair from her forehead. And I said, losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. In Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee, I'm going to Graceland. My traveling companions are ghosts and empty sockets. I'm looking at ghosts and empties. For a reason I can't explain, there's some part of me that wants to see Graceland. There's a girl in New York City, calls herself the human trampoline. And sometimes when I fall in flight, I'm tumbling and turning. Well, I say, this is what she means. She means we're bouncing in Graceland. And I say, losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. Oh, oh, in Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee, I'm going to Graceland. I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee, I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, Graceland. I'm going to Graceland. Thanks very much. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. And please come and hang out. Let's hang out. Oh, stop it. I ran out of songs like 3 songs ago, so that's very cool.